Hello everyone. In this session, I would like to discuss three things. One is like when we get CORS issue. The next one, how we can fix it. The next thing is like what is pre-flight request. These three things we can discuss as part of this session. When we get CORS issue. The next one, how to fix it. How to fix it. The next one, what is pre-flight request. Sent by browser. The first, when we get the CORS issue. Okay, to reproduce this, first of all, create one node application. Okay, this is my node application. By using Express framework, I created. If you want how to create, if you want to know how to create these applications, just watch my previous videos. Here, in this particular application, in the users.js space, create one endpoint. My router dot host. Okay, any endpoint you can create. Get name, and this is my function. Okay, open one and closed one. Here you can write like request comma response comma next, request comma response comma next. Here, if you observe, okay, just you can give some response back. Response dot send off. My name is like such. If anybody hit this particular endpoint, they can get the response like what? They can get the response like Sachin. If you want to check it, if you want to check, okay, you can check by using advanced REST client or Postman. Okay, let me open Postman. Already advanced REST client is there. Okay, let me open Postman. Okay, here you can test it that API call is working as expected or not. This is my API call request method post, and my URL is get name. It is inside users file. The users file path is like users here. Say this users file path is like users. This particular users file inside my application that is running on localhost 2020. So that finally it is looks like this. Okay, the method name is like post. It is running on HTTP localhost 2020 users and get name is my full-fledged URL. Click on this. Yeah, you can get the Sachin or not. Now, yeah, my endpoint URL is ready. That means my endpoint, my API call development is done. Now I want to call this from my client side. I want to send a request from my client to this particular API call and get the response like a Sachin. So how I can send the request? Let me open Paint. Let me open Paint. Simple. Here, this is my client port, and this is my server. This is my server application. Now my client has one button. Okay, let me draw like this. Let me design like this only. This is my button. Click is my button. If I click on this particular button, I have to send one request to the server. Okay, get that response. What is the response? Sachin response. That response I want to show here. This is my requirement. So this is my client side. This is my client side base. This is my client, and this is my server. In my server, already one endpoint is ready. The endpoint URL is what? The endpoint URL is this one. This endpoint URL already developed. This endpoint URL already developed by using one of the method called as a post method. Okay. Now I share this URL and method with my client side guy. That client side guy by using Ajax. He send a request to the server or not. If you want some more information about Ajax, watch my Ajax videos, Ajax related videos in my JavaScript. Now come here, create one HTML file. Inside the public folder, create it first. That is client.html. Create one button. Okay, just click. The button name is like click. Now see, the total application is running on localhost 2020 port number or not. Localhost 2020 port number. Localhost 2020 port number. Inside this application only, my file also there or not. Which file? Client.html. So that can I open this client.html? Yes, my button is visible or not. Now At the time of clicking on the button, one request should have to go to my server or not. If you want to send a request to the server by using Ajax technique, we can send the request to the server. Let me write the code first. Now come here. At the time of clicking on the button, just write on click equals to function send a request. This is already okay. If you want this Ajax request, Ajax related stuff, just go through my videos. Now come here, take a script. Okay, here you can write like a function send request. After that, here, if you want to send a request to server by using XML HTTP request class, we can send it. So write it where my obj equals to new XML HTTP request, new XML HTTP request, and then obj dot open prepare one request. Okay, how we can prepare? If you want to send the request to the server, what things are required? Method and URL is required. Yes, my method and URL is there or not? Method is post, my URL is this one. So can we write here? My method is post, my URL is this one. Done. Once my preparation is done, you can send the request. Once you send the request to the server, my server is going to processing the request and give the response back. My response may be success, may be failure. If it is a success, I can handle by using onload function, by using onload callback function. If it is a failure, by using on error callback function, we can handle it. On error callback function, we can handle it. If it is a success, can we get the success response? How we can get it? My var result equals to object dot response text, object dot response text. Now our requirement is what? After this button only, right? I want to show that response. See here, after this button only, right? This agent has to visible, so that just place some container here. Here I want my para, I want my para. Okay, or you can keep like h1. Okay, big font size you can get it. Okay, here once you get the result, you should have to show the result. How we can? Document dot query selector, get the element reference first. After that, inner text or inner HTML, you can use it. Here you can place your result. If it is like a failure also, my failure result you can show it. My failure result you can show it. That's that. Now done. Now can we run this? Can we run this? Okay. Now can I click on this particular button? If I click on the button, one request go to the server. Here we can track the request and responses in the network tab or not. Now come here. If I click on this one, yeah, see this, my searching, you can get it or not. Okay, see this. If I click on this one, my request and response you can track here. See, my request is sent to this particular URL and you can get this response or not. Perfect. There is no pre-flight request, nothing. Okay, here there is no CORS issue, nothing. Okay, our concepts not at covered. See, the first one is what? When we get the CORS issue. Now I didn't get any CORS issue. Now I want to do slide change. Okay, now come here. Now come here. The same client.html is there, right? Okay, copy this code. Copy this code. Just create. Open one more window. Open one more window. Just open one more window. Here, just wait. Here, open one folder, test folder that is on my desktop. That is on my desktop. That means open your Visual Studio Code in another folder. Inside the test folder, just create one more file, client2.html. The same code you can write here. The same code you paste here. Same code you paste here. Now, can we run this file now? Can we run this one? Open with live server. Open with live server. See, now two clients. One is like client.html. Another one is like client2.html. Now, client one and client two differences you can find first. Okay, just wait. It should have to run. Now come here. Now see the difference between client one and client two. My client one is running where? My client one is running where? Localhost 2020 port number or not? Localhost 2020 port number. And my client two running where? Okay, let me write this. My client one URL is this one. My client one URL is this one. Okay, client one. Listen carefully. Client one. My client two. My client to URL is what? My client to URL. Client to URL is what? Come here, copy paste. This is my client to. That's perfect. My client 1 and client 2 send a request to the same endpoint or not. Okay, I didn't change any code. See here, client 1 also send the request to this particular guy. Client 2 also, client 2 also send the request to this guy. Client 1 also send the request to this guy only or not. See this. Okay, so here my server endpoint, endpoint here. It is my endpoint. Okay, now send me request. See, first refresh the client one. Next, refresh the client two. Inspect it. Both open developer console windows. Now come here. Can I click on the console? Or can I click on the button? Okay, click on the button. Yeah, I get the searching. Expected output only. I got it. Now can you go to my client2.html? Can I click on this one? Yeah. If I click on this one, what happened? I didn't do any code change, right? Same code I run in another HTML file. That's it. Now, can you check this one? See this in the console. See this. The access to XML HTTP request localhost 2020 users get name from origin 1270 point has been blocked by the CORS policy. There has one issue came or not? Yes or no? Now, when we get this CORS issue, now I want to explain. See this. This is my client. Where my client application is running, my client application is running the client.html. It's a page. Where my client page is running inside my localhost 2020. Okay, this guy is send request to my endpoint. Where my endpoint is running localhost 2020 only or not. See here. That means my client application running on the same host name. Okay, my client and server applications, my client one and my server applications both are running on same host name and same port number or not. If my client and server both are running on the same host name and same port number, there is no CORS issue, nothing. When you get the CORS issue, when you get the CORS issue, my client and server applications both are like something different port numbers or different domain names or different hosts, then that time we can get this type of CORS issues. Now you got idea, right? When we get this CORS issue, if my client and my server application both are running on different host names as well as different port numbers or not. Okay, same host name, different port number, then also you can get the CORS issue. Okay, total domain name is different, then also you can get the CORS issue. Port names are same, but the domain names or host names are different, then also we can get the CORS issue. Now my total domain name is nothing but my host and my port number both are same, then only we will not get the CORS issue. Okay, now how to fix this CORS issue? How to fix this CORS issue? Before that, okay, what is preflight request? I want to explain now. I want to explain now. What is preflight request means? Let me open this diagram first. Let me open this diagram. Don't save it. Now see, this is my server. This is my server. My server is running where? Okay, copy paste from here only. My server is running on localhost 2020. Perfect. Localhost 2020. My server is running on localhost 2020. Okay, done. This one server is there. Multiple clients are going to send the request to this particular server or not. This is one client, and this is one client, and this is one client. Like this, multiple clients are going to send the request to the server or not. One of the client where it is running localhost 2020. This is my client one. It is running on localhost 2020. One other client is there. This is my client two. It is running on this port number. There is one more client also there. It is running on localhost only. It is running on localhost only with different port number. Localhost only with a different port number. The port number is like, just you can put like 8080 for example. 8080. Now see this. If this client send the request, okay, my client send the request. Client where it is running, client application always running where? Inside the browser only. If from this particular browser, okay, this one you can say like client one is nothing but a browser. From this browser, if you send a request to the server, first my browser checks, yeah, my page is running on localhost 2020. That means my client app is running on localhost 2020, and my server app also running on localhost 2020. There is no problem at all. I can send my request to the server like this. My browser think. That means my client page also running where my browser knows, right? Inside my browser only, right? My local my page is going to run where it is exactly running. My browser knows. So my browser think like my page is running on localhost 2020. He also requested to my localhost 2020 only or not. My server also where it is running localhost 2020. He requested something to my localhost 2020 only or not, so that my browser will not stop this request. Okay, directly he is going to send the request to the server guy. But if you come here, this is also running inside the browser only. Now my browser understand like, yeah, this particular page is running in this particular host name as well as port number. From this host name and port number, he is requesting, he send the request to what localhost 2020 or not. So my browser thinks like, yeah, he is running on this particular port number. Okay, he is requested to another port number, another host name. So that first of all, my browser thought like, okay, let me ask him first. Okay, somebody requesting something to you. Do you want me to allow like this? On dummy request, my browser is going to send. Okay, one dummy request my browser is going to send. When my dummy request my browser is going to send, my client page, that means my client page is running on one host name, one port number. My server page is running on one host name, one port number. Both are like different, completely different. Then that time my browser, instead of sending my original request, just he is going to send one dummy request. That dummy request we can say like a pre-flight request. That request sent by whom? Pre-flight request. That request sent by browser. Okay, this pre-flight request sent by browser with the request method, options is the request method, options. So one pre-flight request go to the server. Now my server side guy think like, yeah, somebody is asking something, request something. Okay, my server side guy is going to decide yes, allow or deny. So that he is going to send, once he send the request to the server, pre-flight request, he is going to give the response back to my client. Okay, now my server side guy tells like two possibilities. One is like yes, allow him, another one is like deny. Okay, if it is like deny, on that time you can get this type of error, CORS error. Okay, that guy is not allow you to process the request. Okay, because of this reason, like this, my browser send this error message to you. If ye allow, who allow? My server side guy allowed. Okay, then that time my client, my browser send my original request. My browser send my original request. This is original request. Okay, now once my original request go to the server, as usual my server is going to processing the original request and give the response back. What is my response? My response is like a Sachin or not, like this. When my pre-flight request sent to my server means my client application on running on different host name, different port number. Okay, comparing with my server and my client both are same, then the time there is no pre-flight request. Both are like different, then the time my browser is going to send the pre-flight request. It's like a dummy request instead of sending the original request. Once you send the dummy request, my server side guy, okay, server side guy think and okay, allow or deny. Okay, like that he is going to give the response back to my client. He's like deny, then the time simply my browsers tell this error message to you and will not send your request to the server. He's just blocked your request. And then he is like allow. Okay, my server side guy is like allow. Okay, now this guy, my client is going to send the original request to my server. My server side guy is going to processing the original request and give the response back to my client or not. This is the thing is happened. If my client is running on one machine, okay, one host name, one port number. If my server is running on one host name, one port number. Now how we can fix it? Okay, this is my pre-flight request. Now how to fix it means very simple thing. If you want to fix this one, my browser is going to send the pre-flight request. My server has to accept that one or not. To fix it, my server has to accept this particular client request which is coming from different port number, different host name. Like that, my server side guy has to accept that particular request or not. Like that, you have to write the code in the server side or not. So you have to make your server side application like that can accept any type of request from any host name, any port number. Like that, you have to write the server side code or not. So how we can handle the CORS in your node application means we have one library is there. CORS is the library. So that first of all get that library. How we can install, right? Npm install CORS -- save. Okay, I'm telling again, whenever you run this command, your internet should be enabled. Why? Because you get this particular CORS library from the cloud to your application. That is placed where? Inside my node modules folder or not? Inside my node modules folder. Okay. Now just take few minutes. Okay. Now see it's processing. Okay. Once it is done, you can find this CORS here, the package.json. See here, my CORS is there or not. Now, how we can use the CORS means which file is the root file in your node application app.js, so that here you can first of all get the CORS. Where CORS equals to require CORS. Now here my app dot use of my CORS is the method. This you can use it. That's it. This is the way you can handle the CORS. Once you handle the CORS in the server side, now my server side guy always accept the original request or not, which is coming from where? Always accept the request which is coming from different port number, different host name or not. So let me check, is it really accepted or not? Now first, client one, anyway both are running it in the same. Okay, both are running it in the same host name, same port number, so no problem. Can you go to my client two? This is only right problem. Can you go to my client two? Can you go to my network? Okay, can you check it? If I click on this one, see, yeah, you can get the session or not. That means it's handled or not. It's handled or not. This is the way my CORS issue we are going to fix it. Okay, how we can get the CORS issue and how to fix that CORS issue in the node application. Okay, at the center, what is preflight request also we discussed. Hope you understand. Thanks guys. Thanks for joining.